Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Back of the Class podcast. Juan, I see you looking up in the sky. That means you're thinking about who number 32 is, but you're going to save it to the end.
I already got it.
Save it to the end. All right, cool. So on this week's episode, we have to talk about Lil Wayne's retirement tweet. Not retirement speech. Retirement tweet. Travis Scott's new album. Kid Cudi's double album.
Whoa.
Narcos Season 2. And Atlanta's premiere episode. And, of course, we'll get into the musica we would be listening to this weekend. If you are a constant listener, but not a subscriber, you need to get your life together and subscribe to the podcast right now so that you get it each and every Thursday. Wonka David was the one who put me on to the whole Lil Wayne tweet. Unbeknownst to him, we were at Made in America, and Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz was on stage. When he heard,
it was the same day, right?
It was the same day. When he heard Lil Wayne's voice, he was like, "What is he doing here? Is he supposed to be performing?" He didn't know, but then he thought he had retired.
That was a weird turn of events, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, Lil Wayne tweeted his defeat. He's tired. He has no more strength to fight the good fight of trying to get his music released and trying to get himself released from Cash Money. And so he said he's done. He's bowing out. I guess I'll kick this topic off. I think if he actually does retire, how many times have we heard rappers are going to retire and then they're not? Even I Love McConan retired and came back. Not that we care.
He already did?
What the fuck?
Yes, he
really?
came back. He had records with Skepta. He had another record with a couple other people. But
you can't retire
and then come back literally.
No, fuck that. You can't retire when you've been out. Like, how many albums he dropped? 1?
Who? McConan?
Yeah.
I don't even think he had an album.
I think it's all mixtapes.
It's all mixtapes.
Mixtapes all the way down.
Look at that. You're going to retire when you only thing you've done is mixtapes?
Now, Lil Wayne, on the other hand, has an extensive catalog of albums.
Carter's.
Not only Carter's, but, the albums before Carter's. He has an extensive catalog of mixtapes, and he has an extensive catalog of features. Therefore, I think if it's an honest retirement, would we like to see or hear the Carter 5? Absolutely. But just given the sheer volume of material, I would say Lil Wayne has had more than one great career.
Yeah.
Second and third wind, if you will. And I also think he kind of solidifies his name in the hat of one of the most important artists in hip-hop.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't think he needs to do it anymore.
Right. Something that I'm thinking about right now is, we talk about people can never retire and actually stay out. They want to come back. It's in them, whatever. But how about people bugging them for a feature? Like, Lil Wayne is going to get asked to do a feature every day for the rest of his life.
Right.
And when it's Eminem or it's Jay-Z or it's Kanye, he's going to want to do it eventually, and he's not going to be retired. He's going to keep rapping.
Maybe, this is like a ploy for him to get out. Say he's going to retire, so they go like, oh, yeah, he's going to retire. Let's just drop him then, since we're not going to make any money off of him. And then they retire, and then he leaves, they let him out, and then, surprise bitches.
Right.
I am retired. But I may be overestimating his thought process, or maybe not.
No, I think, from what I understand, Lil Wayne, his managers, Mac Main and Cortez, all went to the same, magnet school. They were very brilliant students. They went to a very gifted school for really smart kids. So as dumb as we like to think Lil Wayne is, he's very, very highly intelligent. So I wouldn't put it past him as this being a ploy to get.
Well, you don't know how much brain cells that lean has fucking killed the last couple of years.
Does lean kill brain cells?
Kills some. It gives you seizures.
Would you say it doesn't grow them?
Grow them, yeah.
My man's had seizures once a month for the last couple of months. It has to do something to your psyche.
Will you miss him?
And he's been doing it since he's a little kid.
I honestly don't
not
miss him
lean, but
now.
rapping, so. Yeah.
I
don't
honestly
miss
don't
him.
miss him now. I mean, like you said, he's done
But
so
you
much
like
shit.
the Collie Grove
No,
project.
I like the Collie Grove and shit, but I wasn't thirsty for it.
Right.
I'm not thirsty
weren't
for a
feeling it,
Lil
right.
Wayne album. Like, I would be like, and this is just me, like a Danny Brown album or the next Eminem album or
Right.
even a new Jigga or Nas album. Like, he's just, oh, cool, new Wayne came out. Let me take a listen. And let me write down some of the funny lines he had, because that's basically all he's good for nowadays.
He had a good year recently from like mid 2014 when we put that song "Believe Me" with Drake up through like middle of last year. Like he did 2 mixtapes last year. He did an album. Those are all pretty good. But now it feels like if he wants to do it again, he has to build it back up from scratch again.
Right.
Why doesn't he just make music outside of the label? Is he just not allowed to?
Yeah, remember Tidal got sued for releasing that, was it Free Weezy album?
Mm-hmm.
They got sued by Cash Money for doing that. So his contract, and Lil Wayne got signed and then re-signed a crazy deal back before they had like put legal stipulations on, signing an artist for 5+ albums. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that the 5th album would have been the last under his contract, which is another reason why he wants for it to drop, and Cash Money doesn't want it to drop.
Well,
He's locked up, man.
He's locked up.
Bad situation.
Locked
so.
up.
but there have been so many times where didn't him and Baby like reconcile their differences and shit, and then it promised it was coming. Like, somebody's dicking somebody over, and it looks like they're just not fucking cooperating with him. And that's what sucks about labels.
And I mean, I think that Baby has experienced a lot of the Cash Money artists trying to leave and start their own, movement. It doesn't work without him. He also doesn't really give them, A, what they probably deserve to leave with, but B, the tools to, move on. Lil Wayne has proven that he can scout talent. He can market talent. He knows how, he knows what he's doing. So I can see why, Baby wouldn't want him to go. The same way Puff didn't want the Locks to leave. The same way Suge didn't want Tupac to leave. They don't want their staple artists to go off and do their own thing because away goes the cachet, the fame, and the money.
Is everybody on Young Money under the Cash Money umbrella?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then what the fuck? You still have 2 cash cows for you that are making pop music.
Right.
Why not just let go of the fucking guy who you supposedly love like the sun and just do whatever the fuck he wants to do? I mean, he's put in the work.
This is Family Matters, bruv.
Well,
Anyway.
whatevs.
Well, we hope Lil Wayne hits the golf course or takes up something besides skateboarding so that, like a real retire. What a dream, though, right? In your career, you're, early 30s, and you get to retire rich and, super successful, going out, at one of the greatest of the generation.
Or he could start rapping under an alias.
Lil Tunechi.
Lay Tunchi.
I mean, if he really wanted to, he could rap under an alias.
Yeah, but he'll probably get sued. Baby probably owns his voice.
So then
His
write for
vocal
somebody
cords,
else.
his gold teeth. I don't know.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Anyway, speaking of gold teeth, Travis Scott
Yes.
dropped Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, Apple exclusive, probably the most talked about album at the festival
Oh.
and and right now. And just like when you talk about iconic moments, okay? I don't know if you guys saw the Apple Music promo with Brian McKnight playing a grand piano off a cliff in LA while Travis just sat there looking super emo.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
On a
to
cliff?
see. On like a cliff.
Yeah.
I just got a flashback of Slash playing the solo in, was it November Rain? Yeah, November Rain.
It's special stuff, yeah.
It was super special. Zach, what do you think of the album?
Too bad the album was special.
Oh,
snap.
Wait a second.
Wow.
I
You
loved it.
jumped
I
the
loved
gun.
it. I loved it right away. I felt like it was right down the middle for Travis Scott fans. Sounds like Juan doesn't.
Yeah,
I
Juan
didn't
is Juan.
like it.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it. I think it's and I feel like Travis is following in the footsteps of his mentor Kanye, and each body of work is different.
So that's like the understatement of like the fucking decade.
Well, we can't say that the understatement of the decade because we don't know how much Kanye borrowed from Travis to know if Travis is following in Kanye's footsteps or if it's a creativity blurring. Because from what I understand, the majority of Yeezus was Travis, not Kanye.
But Travis wasn't doing the sound then. Like when Al,
We didn't know. We only had Al Farrell, and it was a lot of Al Farrell.
It wasn't as much as it is now.
It wasn't as much now, but we only had one body of work.
But still, if that was
judge
his
it from.
sound, we would have heard it then.
What way do you think he's following Kanye?
In terms of each body of work being their own thing. With Kanye, the first 3 albums were similar. They were also a theme. These are not. But they were similar, but you heard the progression.
It was a trilogy.
But then 808 was its own album. Beautiful Dark Twisted, its own album. Yeezus, its own album. Pablo, its own album. I feel like with Travis, you know, Rodeo was its own album. This is its own album. Rodeo wasn't like Days Before Rodeo.
No.
Days Before Rodeo wasn't like Al Farrell.
I think this one is more like Rodeo than anything else has been similar, though. Like, I could definitely see these songs shuffling with, like, Antidote and Nightcrawler and the
It didn't progress, though.
poppier stuff on there.
It didn't progress.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, straight down the middle. Like, this is what I like of Travis Scott, you know.
And
like,
that's why I liked Rodeo.
Pick Up the Phone has been out for, like, 6 months. The song that ends the album with The Weeknd has been out since December. And I love both those songs, and I'm so happy. Like, especially Pick Up the Phone. Like, that is my probably favorite single of the year, where it's just one song that I've listened to so much, and I'm just so happy it's on an album now.
Word.
And the album
I
sounds
like that
that
beat.
stuff.
I just can't. I was telling, like, and I said it before. I just don't like the singing auto-tune shit. I liked in like Al Farrell when he was just rapping,
Right.
and that's what I liked. It was dope production, cool hooks, and him rapping very similar to Kanye, but him rapping, and I liked it. Then Rodeo was just singing and just fucking auto-tune, turned up to 1,000,000. Not my cup of tea.
Right.
It's cool once in a while. It's fine. There's like auto-tune songs that I like. But for
you
it
don't
to
want
be
a
a
body.
full album,
Right.
song after song after song after song that is just auto-tuned to fucking wazoo, it's just not my cup of tea. Having said that, he definitely, like, he doesn't rap in that album, but he definitely brings out Kendrick. He has fucking 3 Stacks.
3 Stacks.
3 Stacks
man.
kills it. The Kendrick verse on, I think the name of the song is Goosebumps.
Yep.
Not feeling it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love Kendrick. I just wasn't feeling it. He kind of felt all over the place, and like, you know, just him doing something different, which is fucking fine, and that's why I love Kendrick. Like, whatever. But
the song with Kid Cudi is amazing. He did 2 with him, but the number 4 is like All Through the Night. That's the real collaboration. I don't know, man.
I like the production.
I
I think the production is pretty solid.
Yeah, I just think he sets an atmosphere like better than almost anybody.
The production, you mean?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just the vibe that every song gives you and how full it sounds, how it sounds like they covered every little corner.
He's also not
right
talking
now.
about anything interesting to me. So that's why.
Neither are most people we listen
It's
to these
true.
days.
You
That's-
love Desiigner.
it's
You
an
love the
epic-
new
this is
Billionaire
true.
record, and we still don't understand what the heck he's saying.
Yeah,
This is
there's
true.
a content epidemic right now, but
Right.
It doesn't.
I got the keys
Aw,
though.
man.
Content's like the last thing on the
Keep-
list right now.
It is.
Right now, number 1 is catchy. Number 2 is fucking earwormy, and that's it. Content's at the bottom of that fucking list. Case in point, fucking De La Soul album came out, not a fucking peep. It was
Dude.
just all about the Travis Scott album, and I really like the De La Soul album.
You know what's crazy is I just put this on someone posted a cover of the De La Soul album, and I put lyric of the year. Rappers don't want to see me like a diamond tester. That was the lyric of the year for me, because all these rappers are wearing fake jewelry. You bring out a diamond tester, and it'll let you know if you're.
Everybody puts it in their shirt.
Every rappers don't want to see me like a diamond tester. I was like, that is the most brilliant line of the year. That album was great.
Yeah, I love it. It's very old school. It's very
And it's
De La
a
Soul.
listen. You
There's
have to
playful,
sit down and listen.
They have the playful side of De La Soul
Yep.
that they always had, the conscious side of it, like, and there's like 17 songs deep.
Right.
Like the production is new school, old school. I love it, man. Obviously Travis Scott's a bigger star, rightfully so, because he's just been out in the mainstream for longer. I mean, no, it's been around forever, but not.
And De La Soul was crowdfunded as well.
Yeah, which was great, and it was like overwhelming. Like it wasn't like, oh, they barely hit their mark. Like they fucking like that crowdsource was like overly successful.
Yeah. And they delivered a great product too, which is important, for people who want to go that route.
It had a good debut too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was a success.
Number one
on I think on the rap charts. Yeah,
wow.
I think
on the crowdfunded rap charts. Oh man, but okay, I don't. Travis Scott.
Yeah,
we feeling it.
Yeah,
I'm feeling. What I like too is not only is it feels like pretty close continuation of Rodeo, but Rodeo was big and had a lot of. It had like narration from T.I. over a lot of parts.
Right.
It had a lot of features, and it had songs. Like 3500 is like a 7-minute song. Ooh. And there's a lot of songs with 2 parts to them.
Right.
And this one is in an interview with Rolling Stone. He said he tried to make it like straight to the meat, and I think that's pretty close to what it is. It's like it's all just right there, ready to go right away. So I like it.
I didn't hate. I wasn't like, oh, this is trash. Right. I just didn't like it. It's not like
no, I
cup
feel
of
you.
Tea. There's definitely songs that I was like, oh, I like this production.
Right.
Like the Goosebumps beat is dope. The pick up the phone beat is fucking still fucking ill.
Oh.
And listen, we were interviewing somebody. I think it was the Banks and Steels, aka the RZA and his friend, at
Ryan Banks
at Made in America, and Juan and I both were like trying to hurry that interview up so that we could go hear some Travis Scott because Travis was on stage at that very time, and we managed to get a really good interview with Banks and Steels, and then hear some Travis. But like,
that's good.
It's safe to say you're still a Travis Scott fan.
No, I just like everything else. I like his older shit. I hate saying that because it sounds like such a fucking douchey hipster thing to say. Well, I like his older stuff, his deep. But I just do. That's deep just cuts, me. Bro. Like there's cuts out of Al Farrow that I fucking love. Like, am I still one of my favorite songs?
Is there anything that can make something that's predominantly auto-tune still appeal to you?
Like I love Antidote, and it's auto-tune.
But like a whole project.
A whole project, no. It's just too much of the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was a time where T-Pain was on top of the world, but then that shit faded out quick because it was like.
And he wasn't selling albums. Let's be clear.
Yeah, exactly.
No one wanted to hear a whole album.
He was selling his app more than he was selling his album.
And his microphone. That was a toy that auto-tuned your.
And I'm sorry, but like
voice.
auto-tuning for a while was a joke. Like people were making fun of everyone who did it.
I
At some point, it just turned into like the cool shit to do because Kanye mostly because he started using it, and then oh shit, Kanye's using it, so it must be cool. Future,
Wayne.
So and there's songs that Wayne used it on, but it was like I think M's even used it, but. When it's used sporadically and strategically where it makes sense, it works.
But Wayne ruined it because he would rap in it.
Yeah. Like a full, track by track of just auto-tuning singing, it just doesn't do it for me, personally, in my opinion.
Right.
So
I just think it's like the most interesting instrument that exists.
But it's not an instrument.
It is though. It's just people turning their voice more into an instrument. And that's why the content that's what
turns into an instrument.
But I don't think of it as a crutch. Like I think of it as a whole other thing because
no, I'm saying the original intent of it was for
like when Kanye did it on 808s. It's like it's a crutch, but
Britney started doing it because she got to an age where she couldn't hide that shit anymore. Right. She couldn't sing a fucking lick.
Yeah.
Not the shit.
And then other real singers called her out for it. Like who was like Demi Lovato? I think called her out for that shit a while back.
Britney, bitch, so.
But yeah, she's the star. She's not an artist.
No, but I agree with you, Zach. I feel like if utilized correctly, like I love what Roger Troutman and Zach used to do with the vocoder, and the Stevie Wonder used to auto tune. Like when it was done well.
Was it the first person you mentioned, the California Love guy?
Yes, that was Roger Troutman. Yeah,
see,
that was perfectly utilized. Yeah. Sprinkles.
But you would want a full album of just him doing
Computer Love. Come on, classic record. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when done well and not, relied upon heavily. Because
it's like everything.
No talent.
It's like everything in life, man. Everything in moderation.
All in moderation.
Auto tune here and there, fine. A whole fucking album from top to bottom auto tune, maybe not. That's
Right.
me. That's
Which
me.
is another reason why I appreciate Kanye, because he'll bring in artists where he can't. 808 was a personal album, so he had to sing that. But you see, he brings in people, to extend, where his talent ends.
But Kanye is more auto-tuned than not today, I think.
Oh, no,
I
yeah.
think, like,
I'm not
Hell yeah.
listening
percentage
to
of the
it.
time his
But he
voice
raps
comes on.
still.
Right.
But he raps still.
Right.
Like Pablo had a shitload of auto-tune,
Right. Yeah.
but he fucking rapped and he
Right.
rapped well.
But he's doing a lot of features just in auto-tune too,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that Timmy Turner feature, Kanye
Yeah,
killed that joint.
Yeah.
Did you hear the designer?
I only heard it
Timmy Turner
distracted
remix?
this morning,
Oh,
but
my
I'm
lord.
definitely gonna be
That beat,
spending time with
he
that.
killed
as the kids say, goes very hard. And Kanye,
quite
I love, man. I hate to say it, but I love his rapping. I don't know what it's like. Even when I'm like, that's not that clever. But then I'm like, but damn, his delivery, like you believe that.
Like
shit.
on that part, the whole thing.
like you just believe
great,
that
yeah.
shit. I love that song, and I was telling Esteban, I'm like, do you think Kanye, after he signed Designer and after Panda, he has his hands in everything Designer has done since, or if he's left to his own devices? Because that melody and Tina Turner is fucking
Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner. Sorry, Timmy.
Well, I need a Tina Turner
Timmy.
remix now.
But like that
Tina,
melody
Tina
is
Turner.
so good. It's so catchy, and you're like,
Yeah, man.
damn, he came up with this shit. So I'm like, maybe. And that remix, that beat is so good.
Right.
So I'm wondering if, because Panda he didn't even make, he bought that fucking beat.
Right.
So I'm wondering if,
Hottest beats on the net.
because so I told Esteban, I'm like, I don't think Kanye's gonna let him fail. Like even if he tried to, because
I don't know.
I don't know.
since Panda, I haven't heard anything shit from him.
Right. I think he's
Like,
about
yes.
to go the way of like the Sci-Hi, the Prince stuff.
Oh no, Sci-Hi's
Sci-Hi-
never been this big. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I
Sci-Hi's
think
dope,
he's-
but he's never been on the mainstream
I think
consciousness.
he's about to have appeared, at the edge of Kanye's orbit and then disappear, basically.
But I don't feel like he's. I think the thing with Sci-Hi was that I feel like maybe Kanye saw him not as a threat, but as someone who could maybe outshine him on that label because Sci-Hi's fucking dope and he could fucking rap his ass off. And then Kanye was like, "Fuck!" Like Consequence. Consequence is another one who could probably out-rap Kanye in certain instances. And what happened to Consequence? You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kanye, if he feels threatened, he's like,
Consequence also, no offense, is not a very attractive dude. So
Yeah.
where Kanye branded himself and made an outlandish image, Consequence was just rapping his ass off. But
I don't want to say I think that will happen to Designer, but I can very easily picture it. Because look, he put out that mixtape and we liked it and we talked about it, but I've never heard somebody say that.
and no one even remembers that he has a mixtape. Only people
No.
remember Panda and Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and you
It's
just
like, well, what is he going to perform? It's like, well, he's got a whole mixtape he could perform, but
Yeah.
you can forget that because
well,
it wasn't.
he did play cuts from the mixtape at
Right.
Made in America. So.
he needs to put out more music. That's what's worrying me. That the flow of music is like, okay, they're either overthinking this or he's just not working at all.
I mean, he might not be. He might
Right.
be touring his butt off because he ain't never had the opportunity before. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
artists get in that zone. I am actually surprised and impressed that he put out a mixtape
Right.
and that it was as good as it was.
Yeah.
Granted, I think he had the RZA Jizza formula where the Jizza goes into the studio, lays his vocals in and leaves and doesn't know what the RZA does afterwards. I'm sure. Who was it? Was it Mike Dean?
Yeah.
Who produced,
A lot of it,
who really produced, arranged, and opened those tracks, and then Designer was running around. I'm pretty sure that's how.
Interesting.
I mean, well,
It worked out,
the story that Designer tells is like Panda, like he picked the beat, and
Right, no,
before
no,
that, he
that's
was
him.
very involved in all his music.
Right.
So I don't think he's that type of dude.
Right.
It
No,
doesn't
I mean,
come
I
off.
feel like he picked the beats for the mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
He went in and laid the vocals, but the stuff that we loved and appreciated came after he had left. In my opinion, I think Mike Dean opened
it's
them up
possible.
and made them shits blend, made it a production. I'm sure the ideas were there. And because of what he did with the 2-track on Panda, I'm sure producers are more inclined to give him the stems and
Sure.
give him all of the elements that they need to take it to the next level. Because who knows, you could have a Panda on your hands for $200.
Yeah.
I could see like Designer turning into something like Big Sean, not lyrically or style wise. I'm
Right.
talking about of stature in
Consistency.
mainstream consistency
Right.
and in hip hop, where he gets to a certain level but he kind of stays in his own lane. He doesn't try to obscure from what he knows he's doing. Like, I fucking love Sean, but Sean's not a fucking megastar
at all.
But he doesn't portray to be a megastar. He's probably working on something.
And another thing, to your point, maybe with the whole Consequence and Saha examples, maybe Kanye now knows what his artists need.
Yeah.
And learn from those, examples. And it's like, maybe if he's not as hands-on, he puts a Mike Dean on it, or he puts, Hudson Mohawk or someone else who's in the camp who can help groom and be
and then he just filters it like, this is trash.
Exactly.
Like, this shit goes pretty hard. So
right. Exactly.
I mean, I guess he's set up to succeed because he's got a Kanye, a more mature Kanye who knows more. He has Pusha T. Donda is in full effect and doing all that shit. So they will have to try hard to fail.
The key was when he did Timmy Turner,
Team of Titans.
It actually got a lot of traction online and people liked it because that was key.
And that was him.
When you have a song, when you have a song like Panda, and then the next one is just absolute shit. That's how you fade like that.
Right.
That song got traction. People like it.
Agreed.
So that's how you know. Not how you know, because anything could happen, but it's a good sign of like, maybe he might have some longevity. I could be completely wrong. The motherfucker's not around next year.
Who knows?
But
Speaking of somebody who might not be around next year, Kid Cudi is dropping not one, but a double album.
I got my fingers
and
crossed.
you're explain, because Juan, you are.
I still have.
Right.
I have his first 2 albums on my phone. I have cuts from
Wizard.
No, not Wizard. I didn't like Wizard for shit. Hold on, I'm gonna go through my phone. But I've been a fan for his for a while. Like Wizard, I didn't like, but when you were like an artist, you're like, all right, I'll let that shit slide.
Yeah,
you were trying something new. I didn't like it.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
The last one he dropped, I wasn't a fan of either. But there's times like when he does features and other stuff on the side that he just puts out, you're like, yeah, there it is.
Right.
Like, yes, and you get excited.
Right.
And then he'll drop the album like he did the last album he dropped, and you're just like, shit.
Right.
Because it was a guitar heavy and shit, and I
Right.
was just like, oh, god damn it. I get that you're trying new shit, and I respect you for it, but I want some of the shit that you put
what
up
do you
before
want
that
him to
I
make?
love.
What do you want to hear?
I just want more of like the shit from Man of the Moon 1 and 2, like just him rapping about shit, just him rapping about life, and which he does, but he's been singing a lot lately. And he's been testing the waters with like a lot of psychedelic, instrumentally, symphonic, fucking outer planetary shit.
Wow, what a description.
That is cool, but you're particular. When you're a fan, you're pretty particular.
Right.
That's just what, I like songs off of those albums that I didn't like as a whole. I just would like to see him come back and do something really good so he could stay relevant, because I like him.
Right. Now, do you think that this is it? Is it 3 strikes you're out? Because you didn't like the last 2 albums. This is a double album. Does this count twice?
I wouldn't want to say that.
Right.
But this might be like, in baseball when like you're like, yo, you need to string some hits together.
Right.
We're going to have to send you down to AAA, because we need somebody who could deliver. That's how I feel like, I really want him to do something good that I like.
Yeah.
Because like when he drops shit, like he has a lot of fans and they do well, like financially they do well, and like when he does collaborations and he does his like stuff outside of music, it does well just because of who he is.
Right.
I just want to get some music that I could fucking like really get into and just keep listening to over and over and over, because the last 2 just weren't, for me anyway, that.
Now,
I think he could pull it off.
This may be a good thing or a bad thing, but in more Cudi news, he walked away from his role on Empire, where he was going to play opposite of Hakeem. And he said that there was creative differences.
Right.
Which is the reason why he walked away. And now Little Romeo, who I think is a way better fit than Kid Cudi, is now a part of that. So hopefully,
Yeah, I would say he's a better fit too, actually.
He seems like he's got creative differences everybody he works with,
Yeah,
like
he's
a difficult dude.
He is becoming that kind
And
of
I've heard
dude.
that he's a difficult dude. Like, in terms of an interview, he's difficult. In terms of, like, a lot of stuff.
And he didn't used to be that way. So something along... I mean, I know he has, like, a lot of shit going on with his kid, and he gets off weed, he gets on weed, he gets off weed and condemns it, then he gets back on it. Like, he's definitely a conflicted individual. Look, man, I just want some good fucking music, and
that's all you want.
You could be a scumbag if you want. which I'm not saying he is. As long as you churn out good shit,
Right.
you know.
We've come to terms with that being in this business, that we're not going to always like the artist, but we'll like the music.
Has there been a good hip hop double album in recent memory?
Since Speakerbox and Level Up?
Hopefully since that.
That's the last one, honestly, that I can remember.
think of.
I mean, who put out a double album besides?
The Game. The Game's double album
Game
was
did last
good.
year, yeah.
Was it
That
good?
was cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was too much to, it was like 30-something songs with
Yeah.
I might have
all these good features, all these good beats. It was just like, it was
I
too
might
much
have
to even
skipped that.
process one of the albums.
Right.
Like, that's still on my homework list of like, one day I got to go through
Yeah,
it.
so here's Man on the Moon, 1 and 2, love. Indica, I have some cuts from that. Fine. Satellite Flight was the one where it was like okay. Speed Bullet to Heaven was another one that's kind of...
Was that the one from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this year, he's putting out the Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying. And then Wizard was just like a side,
Right.
exploratory album, which
Right.
I don't hold it against or for.
Word.
Rock.
Well,
Rock
He's
Wizard.
doing a lot of acting, though, so,
yeah, hopefully he can go over there for a little bit, play in that sandbox, start missing the other one, and come back and playing the music.
I wonder if him breaking away from good music is good or bad, too. Because we're going to see if it is.
Well, so far, it hasn't seemed like it has.
Right,
Yeah.
he's still hanging with that.
Because it could be that those first two that were that good were under
Was under that umbrella.
good music, so...
And he was also an artist who was still discovering his sound,
Yeah.
albeit it was Kid Cudi, but at the same time, he was still taking
Yeah.
notes and being groomed by some great producers
Exactly.
behind the scenes. And I'm sure it got to a point where he was like, man, fuck y'all, I'm going to do my own thing. And then it was like, all right. And now you see what we got.
And 420.
Well, good luck out there, buddy.
We're all counting on you. All right, let's get into this flex zone. Juan's Uncle Pablo's second season of
Uncle
Narcos.
Pablo.
Theo Pablo is on again, and Juan has watched the whole season in one sitting just to make sure that they didn't mess up his
Well,
family's
it's only 10 episodes.
tree.
I love 10 episodes series.
me
Like
too.
anything 10 or below, like 8, 10, I fucking love. Anything over 10, you're just like, fuck, man.
It's a commitment.
Yeah, it's a long commitment, and they have fillers.
Now, are they half-hour or hour episodes?
They're hour.
You spent 10 hours, bruv,
It's not that much.
in a weekend.
Yeah,
think-
I fucking did.
I think I spent 10 hours watching The Office on Sunday.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
The last thing I want to do on a Sunday is look at anyone
Think
work
at work, yeah.
at all.
So was it good?
Yeah, man, I liked it. Again, like, and not a complaint, but just some key things like that I always, especially with this series, because I know the outcome. We all know the outcome. We all
Yeah, it's your uncle's story.
have read history. We read.
He
what
makes
happened.
The Life of Pablo in 2016.
Basically. But no, it's like you watch it. I'm watching it knowing what the outcome is at the end, but they take liberties with certain parts of the stories. To obviously
more
for
interesting.
dramatic reasons, to make
Right.
a reason, which is 100% what you should do, or else it'd be fucking boring.
Right.
Having said that, like, it's the same awesome, like, the way they tell the story with their narration of the DA agent,
Mm-hmm.
the historic, footage they show to lead some of the events are like legit,
Right,
like
right.
newsreels and
Archival.
stuff, and that's always, it gives you that news informative feel, but you're still watching a show.
And it keeps you remembering that this is based on
Yeah.
a real true story.
And I think the thing I like about Narcos is the main character is Pablo Escobar, who is one of like the worst / most prolific figures in history.
Right.
There's people who fucking love him,
Right.
because he did good things. Like he did a lot of stuff
Right.
for the poor. He
Right.
built houses, but the shit he did that are bad far outweighed the good shit he did. And I feel like the
Unforgivable,
series does a
unredeemable.
good job of being like making you feel for him and feel for him in situations where
Right.
he's away from his family, he's on the run, and as any man who is put in a position against the wall with his family, he's gonna fucking strike back.
And
But
he's
then
gonna have
he
sex
does shit when
with
you're just
all
like,
of the
oh.
hot Colombians.
Yeah. But then he does shit where you're like, oh, fuck you, dude. You're a fucking monster.
Right.
They do such a good job of blending of like, fuck, he is a man, I get why he is mad at this situation or
Right.
why he's striking. But then when he strikes, you're just like, oh, you're a fucking animal, dude. Like, you just don't give a fuck about human life, period.
Right.
So that's, I think, something they do very well.
Polarizing.
Yeah, and they do it very well to bring you, to make you care about them and then make you kind of condemn them at the same time. Acting, I thought, kind of went slightly down, in my opinion, just because, again, objectively, I'm Colombian.
Right.
I grew up speaking Spanish, speaking Colombian slang.
Right.
And the actors who are not Colombian
Is
don't.
it painful?
It's, yeah, a little bit. It's just like, that's not how we.
Now people know how I feel when people who are not of the urban or hip hop lifestyle write for characters like Jazz from the Transformers or
Oh God.
That Suicide Squad guy.
You know who
Suicide Squad.
You know who
guy.
voiced? I don't know why I'm gonna tell you this. You know who voiced Jazz in
Who?
Transformers movie? I don't know the fucking actor's name, but Eddie from Family Matters
Are you
voiced Jazz.
serious?
Yes, sir.
In the movie or the cartoon?
In the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, not the cartoon. He would have been like fucking.
They
he was a
modified.
child. He was like,
So what's
They
the
modulated.
what do you know about the creative team for the show? Who they are?
for Narcos?
Mm-hmm.
Not much. I know, like, I just was watching an interview with the director because when I really get into a series and I start, like, dude, like, I was watching the show and I had my phone on, like, Wikipedia because I was like, because, they change people's names. Some people, they use their real names. So I'm like,
Right.
holy shit, I never knew about this person.
Right.
Are they real? And then I find out they're real and then I start digging deep. And
You're
then
a nerd.
I call my dad and be like, yo, did you know about so-and-so? He'd be like, yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, I never knew. So, like, that's why, I'm biased just because it has a lot to do with where I'm from,
Right.
and the history, the sad history. But it's cool because now we find out that it's not, now that the Escobar story is kind of closed the book on it, in the series, it's not ending there.
Yeah, they're
now
doing
it's continuing.
2 more.
Oh, thanks
Yeah.
for ruining it for me. That the Escobar story
Well, you
is
knew
over.
like what you think is gonna escape the country.
Well, look,
and-
they had 3. They just renewed the 3rd and 4th season. I was waiting for him to link up with El Chapo and take over the world.
Nah, well, the thing is, like, if you know history, like, from where season 1 ended to where inevitably what happened to him happened, like, there's
Right.
not much time
Right? No. I get it.
between.
I'm only joking.
But the cool thing is, like, holy shit, they're going to move forward, but now it's going to be a different,
Storyline.
a different storyline with different people, just a different side of it. And you're like, sweet, like, now it's,
Right.
Which is great about the title being Narcos
Yeah.
and not being Pablo.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, Pablo and El Chapo, 2016, with a ticket.
The thing I think is really smart is that they use the right thing to hook you to the series. So now you're gonna come back for season 3, even though it's about a secondary
Right.
narco, group.
Right.
But now you're in because
Right.
if you stuck around for those
Like
2
the
seasons,
story.
you like exactly. So I think that was really well done.
Now, did the chicks get hotter this season? Because the first season, they were some smoking hot chicks.
Yeah, there's not a ton of as many girls as there were the first time
Right.
around because now it's very.
It's serious.
It's very emotional, story heavy this time
Right.
around, where it's the same characters over and over. But the ones that they did show are, they were fucking,
Colombian. What do you
top
expect?
notch.
Top
And I love what
drawer.
they shot in Colombia, they shot in Bogota, which is the capital.
Right.
They didn't like other movies where like they'll shoot in Ecuador or
Right.
Peru and say it's Colombia. Like they were there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
That's if you haven't
The
seen
coca is in the air there,
It's not
It's
like
still
that.
there.
You jerk. But yeah, if you haven't started it, I recommend you
All right.
start the series or watch
I've
it.
been wanting to rewatch Breaking Bad. Do you think this might scratch the itch a little bit?
Yeah, man.
little bit.
man,
If
I
you don't
think
mind reading subtitles,
No, I'm down with
so.
it.
He reads everything.
I'm just saying the people who don't like Esteban doesn't like reading
Yeah, I
subtitles.
don't like reading subtitles.
My wife doesn't like reading subtitles.
Nah.
You know,
It's
Nah, I'm
taking
good.
me a
I
while.
turn the subtitles on a lot of the time actually because
I
I've
do
got
that
like
too. Yeah.
my TV sound might not be that good or
I do it
the
in the
AC
summer because the
might be
AC
on.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I watch anime since I was younger, so I'm used to fucking reading.
All right. From the jungles of Colombia to the swats of Atlanta, let's
bluff.
get into this whole Atlanta premiere. Donald Glover
From the tropics to the trap.
to
Oh.
the Trizap.
That's what he writes, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude,
So did you guys like Atlanta?
I loved
it too.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Right.
I sucks you haven't seen it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna come like, dude.
Yeah, I'm not worried
gonna
about
love it.
anything being spoiled or anything. It's like
It's
and we're not even going to spoil it.
22
We don't
not
even
even
talk about
like-
the story at all.
Yeah, like it's just number one. It's FX. The shit might as well just be on HBO
Right.
because they say F. They say fuck.
Yeah.
They say the N word
Right.
fucking more times than The Wire, basically.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're not fucking around.
Yeah.
It feels super, super authentic. Brian Tyree Henry, who I interviewed last week, is
What character was that?
he's Paperboy.
Oh, that's brilliant.
He's so fucking good,
He's
man.
so good.
Because
in
after
this movie.
interviewing him and seeing how chill he is, such a like
Right.
he's super chill, like funny dude. On that show, like he's one of those like rap, like fucking
Yes.
trap. You know, don't give
It's
a
the
fuck.
definition of struggle rap.
Yeah.
Every struggle rapper who thinks they got a viral hit on their hands and they're hot in their four block radius, this is that story.
Okay.
And it is so brilliantly told. What I love about it is, like, I've been watching a lot of TV, and a lot of TV kind of turns me off if I can tell it's written primarily by one person, because everyone's dialogue sounds like that same one person talking to themselves. This is like, I forget how good. You know, I mean, he was a writer at SNL when he was 18 or something like that. Like,
yeah. Wait, was he really?
Yes.
He wrote for SNL?
He wrote for not for SNL. He wrote
did
for
like
30
one
Rock.
or 2 years.
I know he did Community for a
School.
while.
He did 30 Rock for when he was 18, and that's what got him to
Gotcha.
Community and other stuff. The kid is brilliant. He's so smart, and
He's a
just
good actor, too.
nailed all, like, you didn't see a lot of the jokes you didn't see coming. What you thought, you know, the elements that you wind up laughing at, you never in a million years did I think I was going to get a joke, get a laugh out of that part.
Wow.
Like, it made you, like, introspective and think. His character is such a quintessential, like, I almost see his character can be who Kendrick Lamar was on Good Kid, Mad City.
just without the ability to rap.
Without the ability to rap. Like, a very quirky inward, like, kind of nervous but comfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, just not a fish completely out of water, but you can tell.
It's
like,
he's very relatable. Like there's parts where
Yeah,
you're just
man.
like he's walking through like the fucking hood where like there's dudes out there and like anything could happen.
Right.
And he's crossing the street like nothing can happen
Right.
to him.
Right.
And then there's other times where dudes step to him, he's like, I didn't say that. Like, you know,
Right.
he just doesn't want confrontation.
Yeah,
It's
man.
relatable.
It's so relatable.
And the thing that that stands out the most to me is you don't know if it's a comedy. Like going in, you're like, all right, let's see this, and then you don't know if it's a comedy or if it's drama. You assume it's drama because of the way it starts.
Right.
But then they drop these gems on you, like these jokes and these moments that
Right,
are
man.
fucking
And
like
they're so good.
hilarious. But then you go right back into the serious shit, and you kind of it segues smoothly.
Right.
There's no separation.
Right. What did you think about the way it was, like, the production value, the way it was
I
shot?
love the way it was shot. I love the way it just gets into it.
Right.
The music they're using, it's like deep cut, like
Right.
South.
OJ the Juice Man.
Yeah, like
Cool.
there was Yo Gotti in there,
Right, real
and they
Atlanta
don't like
soundtrack.
overdo it. They do it just right.
Right.
And production wise, you notice like when it starts and it's like going through the trees, it's going backwards.
Right.
But you can't tell it's going backwards. Like
Right.
it's going backwards, but usually when it's going backwards, you see some type of grainy effect or whatever.
Right.
It just works and it's subtle. Everything is subtle, like graphics wise and
And that even plays
music-wise.
into what, it's ill because that one shot in the open where they're in jail, the word Atlanta is written on
Yeah.
the wall, but it's not really there.
and it's like on a desk.
I like
and it's
that
like
move.
they nerded out for television nerds who love
Great.
that type of
Yeah.
stuff. It's even just more of a layer.
Yeah,
on
he's
top.
he's so into the details and the aesthetics and like, I mean, did you guys read anything about this festival thing that he did over the weekend?
No.
No.
Because this was the thing that he put out, the mysterious app a couple months ago, and it was for this
yeah, I
3-day
remember that.
camping thing in Joshua Tree where he performed like 5 times, and I think he performed a whole new album. And he was wearing this crazy, like, tribal sort of outfit. I couldn't even come close to
Tribal,
doing it
like
justice.
Native American tribe, or
Like, he had...
is there another tribe? I don't know.
he was wearing
Kente cloth.
he was wearing maybe some sort of grass skirt situation. Had like white like pattern body paint over him, and I think he had some like long hair situation going on. Maybe some
Really?
braids. It looked wild, and it looked like, how did this
What
guy
the
do this
fuck?
weekend right before his show was about to come on TV? Like, so yeah. And this morning walking to work, I was remembering he did stand-up comedy too.
Yeah.
He has a
Right.
stand-up special. Like he has.
And he's a big comic book nerd. He's gonna be in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Like he's like
he really is.
He has his hands in everything, but again, to me at least, very relatable.
Right.
He's relatable
Right.
because he's a nerd, comic nerd, but he also loves fucking hip hop. He also does comedy.
He's
Like
a good rapper.
for people who are from the hood and are from urban communities like the projects and shit, you're kind of taught to be one way
Right.
and just fit in. He's kind of breaking that shit apart where you could be from the hood and be tough and fucking read comics,
Right.
or be funny,
And
or
I
watch
always-
Community, or watch Friends.
And I
Yeah.
always related
Yeah.
to, because I was one of the kids who were from the hood but not hood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's what I got from the Kendrick first album. That's what I got from Atlanta. Yes, a lot of the things that he was involved with or a part of was hood. It was very hood, stereotypical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell it wasn't who he was. It was the environment he was in, and that makes it very relatable. Even so, I think if you flip that, a lot of kids who are in the suburbs who think they're hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like a fish out of water at the same time. So I feel like there's a lot of relatable elements
Cool.
to it, and it's just funny, man. It's
Great.
funny, and like Juan said, unintentionally. You don't know if it's a comedy. You don't know if you should take it seriously because you're bought in at times, but it's just a good series.
And the acting's solid. I
So
mean,
solid.
besides Brian, like the girl who plays his
Baby mama.
baby mama, but not
Right.
like the dude Darius is fucking
He's
hilarious.
hilarious, man.
Like yeah,
Everybody
it's
got
just-
that homie who's just a
Yeah.
space cadet stoner who just pulls the randomest stuff on it. Can I measure your tree? And he looked
Yeah.
at him and said later. He said, man, that means no. I
Yeah,
ain't
he's
never
like
gonna
not right now. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I'm so glad that the reception is so good because he has had such an uphill battle as a rapper.
Yes, agreed.
So now to see everybody converging and being like, "This is great," can't wait. I'm so
check out
excited to
our
watch it.
interview with Brian Terry Henry because he talks about in
Yeah.
length about where they shot it, how they shot it. Like the director and one of the producers is a Japanese dude. His name
Oh,
is-
ill.
I forgot his last name. I just know his name is Hiro.
Great.
But like it's such a cool an outsider doing this.
Right.
But yeah, check that interview out because it's very interesting.
All right. Well, let's come back in a few episodes and talk about it again, probably.
Yeah, man.
Word.
Wrap that
Yeah.
up. All right, this weekend, what are you listening to? You got a lot of homework, but are you going to just listen to Travis?
This is again. I feel like I'm ODing really quickly, and I gotta try to find some other stuff. I might listen to some Childish Gambino. Actually, you know what I'll say? Somebody mixed up Kendrick and like Kendrick vocals and Donald's Because the Internet album.
Really?
and
sounds
it's
interesting.
really good. I'll check that out some more.
That reminds me of a project. While you're checking that out, check this out. Ill Kidmatic City.
Uh-huh.
And it's Kendrick vocals over Nas Illmatic beats.
Nice.
And my homie Dilemma did that joint. So
Yeah.
that was an amazing project.
All right.
I'm probably gonna be checking out Isaiah Rashad's new album.
Yeah.
Oh, dope. I started playing that.
Right here, yeah, I've heard really good things. I like him. I've heard really good things about this album.
Right.
So I listened to that solo over the weekend last week. I'm still bumping that, but I definitely want to check out
Right.
the Rashad album, The Sun's Tirade.
Kendrick says he's gonna smoke weed in Trump Tower and graffiti the walls on the song that he's on that album.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I love the intro to it. Like Dave Free, who is Kendrick's manager and like I think he's president of TDE. He was like, you know what? March, April, May, and June. I think he picked like 4 months that coincide together. All have in common is I still ain't got your fucking album.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I heard
that
that
was
too, yeah.
brilliant.
That's
It
how it
was
opens,
so
yeah. And you're like,
good,
what the
man.
fuck? Who's this?
Right, it was Dave Free. So that was great. Yeah, I'm just listening to Travis.
Good.
I'm just gonna be listening to Travis all
Look at
weekend
you.
long.
Stay the course.
Good.
Yeah, man.
All right. See you guys next week.
Episode 32, Karl Malone, son.
Oh.
Oh, I was thinking Magic Johnson, son.
I was thinking, you know why? I don't know what, because I had 32 in elementary school in basketball.
And that was because of the mailman?
No, they just gave me 32 just because that's the only size they had with that
Number
number.
32,
So then
David.
the first thing you do when you're a kid is, who wears 32?
Right.
And then the first person that came up, because this was like after Magic retired, was
Right.
Karl Malone. And he was the most prolific 32
Right. Yeah.
at that time, because then
At
Shaq
that time.
emerged after, but then Shaq went to 34 in LA.
Right.
But yeah, Karl Malone. Next week, 33. That's easy.
Yeah, watch your mouth. Don't say it. Don't spoil it for everybody.